All right, let's jump into another deep dive. And today we're going to be talking about Shrek.
Shrek.
Shrek. I mean, who doesn't love?
The classic.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie. I mean, this movie blew everyone away back in 2001,
Absolutely.
and it really set a new standard for animated films. And I think, it kind of paved the way for, all the amazing animation we see today.
Yeah, it's so interesting how it, kind of broke the mold of the traditional Disney princess fairy tale. It was something totally new and fresh and, had this really clever way of subverting expectations.
Yeah.
You think you're going to get this typical fairy tale story and then Shrek just turns it all upside down.
Oh, for sure. And speaking of turning things upside down,
Yeah.
we can't forget the mastermind behind this swampy masterpiece, Andrew Adamson, the director.
Oh, Andrew Adamson, right?
Yeah. Now, what's really interesting about him is that he actually came from the world of visual effects. So before directing Shrek, he worked on films like Batman Forever and A Bug's Life.
Oh, wow, that's fascinating.
I know, right? You can really see his background in visual effects shining through in Shrek, especially with those incredibly expressive character designs. I mean, every wrinkle on Shrek's face, every subtle shift in emotion, it's all so detailed and so well done.
Oh, yeah. The animation in Shrek was groundbreaking for its time.
For sure. I mean, Shrek is a big green ogre,
Yeah.
but he feels so real and relatable. You can really connect with him, even though he's anything but human. But let's be real, it's not just the visuals that make Shrek so great.
Yeah.
The writing is fantastic.
Oh, the writing is sharp.
The jokes land perfectly, and the characters are just unforgettable.
Oh, absolutely. The script manages to be both hilarious and heartwarming, which is a tough balance to strike.
Yeah, it really is. Okay, so let's wade into the heart of the swamp and talk about Shrek himself. I mean, when we first meet him, he's this grumpy, solitary ogre who just wants to be left alone in his swamp. Remember that iconic line, "Get out of my swamp."
Oh, yeah. Classic Shrek.
Classic Shrek. But, there's a reason why he's built up all those walls around himself, right?
I mean, think about it. He's been judged and rejected by the outside world because of how he looks. He's an ogre, right? People fear him, they misunderstand him.
Right.
So it's no wonder he's built up these defenses, both literally and figuratively, to protect himself from all that pain and rejection.
Absolutely. And then along comes Donkey,
Oh, Donkey!
the most optimistic and chatty donkey you've ever met.
Relentlessly cheerful.
Relentlessly cheerful.
Yeah.
Who refuses to be shooed away.
Mhm.
And then, of course, there's Fiona,
Ah, Fiona.
who is anything but your typical damsel in distress.
Right. She is so much more than that.
Right. And both Dongy and Fiona, they really challenge Shrek's desire to be alone.
They force him to kind of come out of his shell, open up, let people in, and ultimately, face those insecurities and accept himself for who he truly is, warts and all.
Yeah. It's a huge part of his character arc, right? Like learning to love himself.
Absolutely. And I think that's something a lot of people can relate to. We all have insecurities. We all have things we don't like about ourselves.
And one of my favorite scenes, that's both hilarious and heartbreaking, is when Shrek overhears Fiona talking about an ugly beast, and he thinks she's talking about him.
Oh, that scene gets me every time.
It just crushes him, right? You can just feel his heartbreaking.
It's such a clever use of dramatic irony,
It really is.
Like, we, the audience, know that Fiona is actually talking about herself and her curse.
Right.
But Shrek doesn't. And the way they play with our expectations there, it's brilliant. It's funny and heartbreaking all at the same time.
Absolutely. And I think that scene really sets up one of the biggest messages of the film, which is looking beyond appearances
Oh, for sure.
and recognizing inner beauty. It's a theme that runs throughout the entire movie.
And it's so beautifully reflected in how Fiona grapples with her own curse.
Yes, with that transformation.
Yeah, she literally turns into an ogre every night.
Yeah.
And it's like she feels this pressure to hide her true self, to be accepted, to be loved. It's such a powerful metaphor.
Yeah, and it really challenges those traditional fairy tale tropes.
Absolutely. In a traditional fairy tale, you'd expect the princess to be horrified by her ogre form.
Right, totally.
But Fiona, she eventually embraces it.
Yes. And you've got Shrek, the ogre, as the hero,
Yeah.
a princess who can handle herself in a fight.
Oh, yeah. Fiona can definitely hold her own.
And then you've got this villain who's obsessed with perfection and maintaining a certain image.
Lord Farquaad?
Lord Farquaad.
Yeah.
It's just so refreshing, to see a movie that turns all those expectations on their head.
It's incredibly subversive, and it really paved the way for a whole new wave of fairy tale adaptations.
Yeah.
You can see the influence of Shrek in so many movies and TV shows that came after it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And speaking of Lord Farquaad,
Uh-huh.
let's talk about this tiny tyrant with a Napoleon complex who's desperate to marry a princess just so he can become a real king. I mean, he's hilarious, but there's also something deeper going on there, don't you
Yeah,
think?
Lord Farquaad, he represents everything that Shrek is rebelling against.
Hmm.
He's all about superficiality, conformity, the desire for power no matter the cost. He's like this caricature of societal pressures.
Yes.
The pressure to fit in,
Right.
to present this perfect image, even if it means sacrificing who you truly are.
It's so true. And the way they portray his princess selection process,
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
it's like this ridiculous game show.
It's so brilliant.
It's genius. Like, it's a commentary on our culture's obsession with beauty standards and consumerism.
Absolutely. They're basically saying, look how absurd this is, this whole idea of judging someone's worth based on their appearance.
It's so true. And it provides this really stark contrast to the genuine connection that's developing between Shrek and Fiona.
Exactly. Their connection is based on mutual respect, on shared experiences. They see each other for who they truly are, flaws and all.
And, we can't wrap up this part of the deep dive without talking about the animation.
The animation, yes.
Because even though Shrek came out over 20 years ago.
Over 20 years ago, it's crazy to think about.
I know.
But it still looks amazing.
It does. The character designs are so expressive.
So expressive.
The environments are detailed, and the way everyone moves and interacts just feels so natural.
It holds up so well.
It really does.
It was truly groundbreaking for its time. Shrek really pushed the boundaries of what was possible with CGI animation.
Yeah, and you know what? There are so many visually stunning scenes in this movie. Like, think about when Dragon bursts into the wedding to rescue Shrek and Donkey.
Oh, that's one of my favorite scenes.
It's thrilling. It's hilarious. And it's visually spectacular all at the same time.
It really showcases the power of CGI to create these truly immersive and unforgettable moments.
And I think, those advancements in CGI that Shrek really helped pioneer.
Oh, for sure.
They've paved the way for all the amazing animation we see today.
Absolutely. Shrek was a game changer.
A game changer. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah, we have.
But we've only just scratched the surface of this ogre-sized masterpiece.
There's so much more to unpack.
There is. So much more. We've got to talk about Shrek and Fiona's growing relationship, that amazing bond between Shrek and Donkey, the whole significance of Fiona's curse, and so much more. So we're going to have to dive into all of that in part 2.
Sounds good. I'm ready for more.
All right. We'll be right back.
I'm excited.
All right.
Okay, so picking up where we left off, let's take a deeper look at Fiona's curse.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more to it than meets the eye.
Right. It's not just a random plot device. It's really a powerful metaphor for all those pressures society puts on women.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to appearance.
I mean, imagine being told that your worth is based on fitting into this tiny little box of what a princess should look like.
Exactly. It's a crazy burden for anyone to carry.
Totally. And Fiona's first reaction to this curse is to just hide it,
Yeah, to be ashamed of it.
Ashamed of that ogre form.
Which is so sad, because it shows how much we fear not fitting in.
Yeah, we all fear it.
Yeah, being judged for not meeting these impossible standards that society throws at us.
And I think it's interesting how the transformation happens at night.
Oh, yeah.
It's like she's literally putting on a mask during the day, presenting this perfect princess image to the world.
That's a great point. It's like all of us kind of put on these masks sometimes to hide our true selves when we feel vulnerable.
Totally. And it makes her eventual acceptance of her ogre form that much more powerful.
Oh, yeah, it really does.
Like, it's a real journey of self-discovery.
For sure.
And self-love.
It's like she finally learns to love herself.
Yeah.
Warts and all, and it really mirrors Shrek's own journey.
Exactly. They both have to embrace who they truly are.
Yeah, they're both kind of outcasts in a way.
Totally. And speaking of Shrek, we got to talk about his relationship with Fiona.
Oh, their relationship. It's one of my favorite parts of the movie.
It's not your typical fairy tale romance.
No, not at all.
It's so much deeper than that.
They challenge each other.
They make each other laugh.
And they help each other grow.
Yeah, they really bring out the best in each other.
And their connection, it feels so genuine because it doesn't happen overnight.
It's not love at first sight.
No, they start off bickering and annoying each other, like a real couple.
Right.
Yeah.
But as they spend more time together...
Yeah, they start to peel back the layers and see each other for who they really are.
That scene where they're roasting marshmallows...
Oh my gosh.
And Fiona just lets out this massive burp.
It's the best.
It's iconic, but it's also a turning point for them.
It is.
She's finally letting her guard down.
Yeah, being her true self.
And Shrek doesn't even flinch.
No, he laughs it off.
He just accepts it.
It's a beautiful moment of connection and acceptance.
It is. It's so heartwarming.
But then we have that scene where Shrek overhears Fiona talking about being an ugly beast.
My heart breaks for him every time I see that scene.
Oh, it's so sad.
He's so vulnerable in that moment.
Yeah, he really is.
And he misinterprets what she's saying.
Right, he thinks she's talking about him.
And it just caps into all his deepest insecurities.
Totally. It's like all that pain of being judged and rejected comes rushing back.
Yeah, and in that moment, who's there for him?
Donkey. Of course, Donkey.
Always there for Shrek.
Their friendship is honestly one of the best parts of this movie.
It's amazing.
It's this classic odd couple pairing.
Right. The grumpy ogre and the relentlessly cheerful donkey.
They just work so well together.
It's comedic gold.
And you know, Donkey isn't just there for the laughs.
No.
He plays such a vital role in Shrek's growth.
He does. He's like Shrek's cheerleader.
Yeah. He's always encouraging Shrek to open up, to be vulnerable.
To believe in himself.
Exactly. And to see that he's worthy of love.
Oh.
It's true. And their bond, it's so strong.
It really is.
It even survives Shrek's moment of anger and rejection.
Yeah. They work through it.
They always do.
And of course, we can't forget about Dragon.
Oh, Dragon. I love her.
She's amazing.
She starts out as this big, scary obstacle.
A fire-breathing obstacle.
But then she becomes this really endearing character.
I know. And she has such a soft spot for Donkey.
Ah, it's adorable.
I know. It's another example of Shrek subverting expectations.
Yeah, instead of being just a one-dimensional monster, she's got layers.
She's complex.
Yeah, she's got her own motivations
Yeah.
and desires, and her romance with Donkey brings a whole new level of humor to the story.
I know. It's such a bizarre pairing.
Right. You would never expect it.
But it somehow works.
It just works.
And it really shows how willing the filmmakers were to just embrace the unexpected.
Yeah, to just go for it and create something truly unique.
Totally. And I think at the heart of it all, what makes Shrek resonate so deeply with audiences is that message of embracing individuality
Oh, yeah, for sure.
and finding beauty in the most unexpected places.
Absolutely. Shrek teaches us that it's okay to be different.
Yeah, to be weird.
To embrace our imperfections.
Yeah, and to find our own version of happy ever after.
Even if it looks different from what we imagined.
Exactly. And I think that message is just as relevant today as it was back in 2001.
Oh, for sure. We're still bombarded with all these images and messages telling us we need to look a certain way, act a certain way.
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
It's a lot of pressure.
It really is. And Shrek is this awesome reminder that it's okay to just be yourself.
Be yourself and love yourself for who you are.
Yeah, and it's not just about individual acceptance.
Right.
Shrek goes even further and challenges those societal norms.
Oh, absolutely. Like, think about that scene where Shrek crashes the wedding,
Oh, yes.
interrupts that whole forced fairy tale ending, and just declares his love for Fiona.
Yeah, in her ogre form.
Yeah, right in front of everyone.
Right there in front of everybody.
It's a powerful moment of defiance.
Yeah, it really is.
Like, he's basically saying, screw your expectations. This is who we are, and we're not going to apologize for it.
Yeah, it's so inspiring.
Yeah,
it
is.
It gives you permission to question those happily ever after narratives.
Yeah, totally.
And just create your own path.
You don't need Prince Charming to save you.
Right.
Exactly.
You can write your own story. You can write your own story. And that final scene.
Oh, the final scene.
Shrek and Fiona fully embracing their ogreness.
Yeah, with all the fairy tale creatures.
Yeah, it's just the perfect visual representation
It really is.
of that message of acceptance and inclusion.
It's like saying, come as you are. Let's celebrate our differences.
Yeah, let's party.
It's beautiful.
It is. It's so heartwarming. And I think it's amazing how a film that's ostensibly about ogres and talking donkeys can be so profound and thought-provoking.
It really is.
Shrek manages to make you laugh and entertain you, but also deliver some really important messages.
It does. It really makes you think.
Yeah, about self-acceptance, about challenging norms.
About the true meaning of beauty.
And I think it's a testament to the power of good storytelling.
Oh, for sure.
That a film like Shrek can do all of that.
It's a classic for a reason.
It really is. So as we wrap up our deep dive into Shrek, I think we could all agree that it has definitely earned its place as a modern classic. It continues to resonate with audiences because it reminds us that it's okay to be different.
To be ourselves.
Yeah, to embrace our imperfections.
And to find our own happily ever after.
Our own unique happily ever after.
Exactly.
All right, so we'd love to hear from you guys.
Oh, yeah. What did you think about Shrek?
What are your favorite moments or characters?
Let us know in the comments below.
And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into your favorite movies.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.